Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with Channel Disturbance. This is the Kranvagn. It's a tier 10 Swedish heavy tank. It's located on the south spawn of Lakeville under the command of Awppenheimer. Well, this is the culmination of all the design that started with the Emil 1 and worked its way up through the Emil 1951, the Emil 2, and finally we get to the Kranvagn. Very heavily armoured at the front and the turret. But the body is a little lighter and easier to damage. It's got an autoloader with 3 guns. It's a 120mm gun, capable of 440 alpha, and you get one shot every 2.75 seconds, but a clip would take 21.05 seconds to load. Okay, first enemy in sight, Barask. For confidentiality, this tank was originally known as the KRV, not Kranvagn. The project was started in 1949 and it was based originally on the French AMX-50, but there was no prototype and nothing was built. Okay, he gets his first round into the Wizzy 114, who's taking a second shot. There's the third, and he's fired all his rounds. Now he's using heat ammo to make sure he can get the penetration. You might think he's gold spamming, but well, he's just making sure that he can generate the hits and get the pens. Okay, Type 57 heavy, you aim for the cheeks. And he gets his first one in, goes for the lower plate. Oh, he misses! Ah, that one went in. So he missed with one of the shots, but got the other two. It zoomed right underneath him. In fact, I think actually it wasn't so much of a miss. It was, well, dispersion, I suppose. Somebody at the back probably took that shot. Okay, Centurion Action 10 takes a round from 441. That's a high roll. He's just having a quick look to see if there's anybody else there he can hit. Yep, the Wizzy 114, but he doesn't bend because at that angle he's got fairly thick armour. Gets another round into the Centurion, and now he's in reload again. But he's got a bit of a problem now because that Barask is really close. And every time he pops out, he's going to be vulnerable. So he's decided to pull back and use some of these rocks back here. And that should be able to allow him to go hull down. Oh, tried to get one into the Centurion. Gets that one through the upper plate. Low roll. Can he get the Barask? Barask didn't want it, but he got it. High roll as well. 465, pulling back. He originally went to load the standard APCR, but he's opted to go straight back to the heat rounds instead. And now we've got a T54 in sight, but we can't do anything about it just yet. He's going to have to go back a bit further, I think. Yeah, he took a round into the body. Gets one into the T54. Can he get a second shot? I think he can. He does! 408, makes him a one shot. Go for the kill. Yep, gets him. Now he's got a reload. The enemy are really suffering. It was a good decision to pull back this far. Can use this nice little ridgeline here. It's got 12 degrees of gun depression. Sorry, not 10. 12 degrees of gun depression in this tank, which makes it fairly formidable because you only show the front of the turret and it's really difficult to get through that. 527 from that round. That was a big hit. And the Wizzy 114 gets revenge for 542. He fired a heat round in. Okay, so we are definitely going to have to pull back now. There's just a huge number of enemy tanks coming down the valley. But it's making it easier for our team in the town because the guys in the town are really going for it. And they've got to the other side of the town. They have come on some obstacles, some tank destroyers. Now, what's happened? If they turn around and gone back the other way, that might be the case. The Wizzy 114 is the only one we can see. Oh, he tried, but he blocked the shot that came from the Wizzy 114 using his turret. You can see the marks either side of the gun where the hits went in. Okay, well this is the T57 heavy. He took one round, he took the second one, but he blocked it. Okay, he might have to pull back again. Okay, because they are coming into this area now. if he does have two, he might be able to fall back even more. We've lost the Leopard. He gets one. Oh, misses the Wizzy, but he can kill him now. Oh, missed it. Awppenheimer's reload time is only 19.07 seconds, so he's not 2 seconds off the reload time with a good crew. And Vents, can he get a shot on T34B just around the corner with a 120mm? He might be able to get a hit on that Wizzy 114. He's loaded, and he gets it. Good. Unfortunately, T34B hit him in the tracks, but he's now pushing forward, and the T34B's got to feel a little worried now because his armor just not up to it, and he pumps one into the Centurion to take him out of the game. The T34B gets some relief, but he gets wiped out by the Scorpion G. And now there's only one enemy left. It's the Progetto. He's up the other end, so we're probably not going to get him. And I think Awppenheimer's decided, well, he's frustrated. It's not a lot he can do. He can't get to that Progetto before he's killed. But he has loaded. And there's the kill that wins the game. So, very well played by Awppenheimer. I have to say that without Awppenheimer holding their cap against all comers, I think his team probably wouldn't have had such an easy game, and they wouldn't have won because, of course, the enemy would have seized the cap and forced the others to return. But Awppenheimer almost single-handedly, there was some help from a Scorpion and from a Leopard holding that cap, but he did a fantastic job, and he was slicing those enemies to bits. He got a first-class tanker through that game. He also picked up a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him during the game. He got a bruiser, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He didn't get a bruiser, actually. He got a high caliber because he dealt the most damage in that game overall. And just look at that win rate, 10,020. That's super unicum and quite a bit more. So let's have a look at the team score and see where he is. Top of the table with 7,364 hit points. The nearest player to him was the Scorpion G, who was also defending the cap area. He got a Confederate and 2,435. So you can see how much Awppenheimer, how much more damage he did than the others. He was really rocking it with that 120mm gun. And that's why he was using the heat ammo, because it has got that extra pen. It can guarantee some of the hits will go through, even if they're at a slight angle. 2,309 hit points for the Leopard, who didn't survive the game, but he was also one of the guys who was defending the cap area. Very well done to him. And when it came to kills, it was the Scorpion G who did the best with 4 kills. I think he was picking up some of the targets that Awppenheimer was slicing into, stripping them of their hit points, and then he was picking up the easy kills afterwards. Awppenheimer got 3 kills, and 2 kills went to the Progetto 46 on his own team, and 2 members of the enemy team, the SU-130PM and their Wizzy 114. When it came to base XP, it was Awppenheimer. Yes, so he's got 2 out of 3 in that one. 1,216 went to Awppenheimer, 1,057 went to the Scorpion G, and 879 went to the Progetto 46. He fired 26 rounds in that game, 22 direct hits on the enemy, 18 penetrations, damage of 7,364 hit points, and all of it was done at close range. 5 hits received from the enemy, only 2 of which actually penetrated, 3 non-penetrations. Those were the ones that were ricocheting off the heavy armor on the turret. 930 hit points of damage blocked by armor, and 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, 122 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 93,347 credits from the game, 46,673 from personal reserves, and 65,000 for completing a mission, a grand total of 205,020 credits altogether. And even though he used premium ammo, he still came out ahead with 53,844 credits profit. I suppose it did help that he completed that mission, otherwise he would have made a loss. He got 7 bonds because it was a tier 10 game. He was tier 10 heavy. And he also got 1,824 XP. There were no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. Just goes to show how tough the Kranvagn is. If you can get it in a hull down position and use that 12 degrees, it's very difficult for the enemy to pen you. They kept putting rounds into the turret instead of actually trying to get the body. The Wizzy 114 did get one round into the hull, and I think there was somebody else who actually put a round into the hull as well. Yes, he was able to keep it and play it to its best advantage, which is just go hull down and just blast away at them with 3 rounds each time. He's got a quick reload, and well, it was definitely a lesson for the enemy. You can't deal with a Kranvagn who's got really good speed of reload and has got a very good position to defend. Not if you're a really good player. You're not going to get past him. So let's have a look at the armor profile for this tank so you can actually see how tough it is. Even the hull is tough on this one. It's 90mm of impacted armor on the actual front plate, but look at that. The effective armor with this slight amount of angling is 172. Makes it fairly difficult to go through. If you're trying to get through the lower plate, well, it's not easier because it's 115mm of impacted armor, and with that angling you're getting about 242. So even stronger on the lower plate than it is on the upper plate on this tank. But look at the turret itself. Look, impact armor 225mm, effective armor 322. No ordinary shell is going to get through that top armor on the turret. It's just simply not going to make it through that. If you see here with the impacted, if you're just looking straight at it, 225 with 368 effective, yeah, you're not getting through that at all. The only way you can actually penetrate the turret is if you can hit the sides of it, because look, it drops to 120mm impacted armor, effective about the same on the side of the turret. And if you go further back, it's 70 impacted armor there, 73, and back on the bustle, it's 90mm with 99 effective. So if you want to penetrate a Kranvagn, you've either got to get its sides, and again, you can see on the hull, 70mm effective, impacted and 72 effective, or you can go for the rear, which is very, very light indeed. It's only 18mm at the rear with 38 effective. So really, the best place to take out a Kranvagn is to get behind it and then shoot at it, because you'll go through straight away. But if you try to put a round straight through its front and he's facing you and you cannot get behind him, then you are going to suffer a lot of damage, and he's the one who's going to take you out. Aim for the hull. It is the weakest spot from the front. If you can only shoot at him from the front, best to aim for the drive wheel, because you've got a chance if you can get it through that drive wheel there into the actual hull, you might do some damage, because of course remember the side armor is only 70mm, so the best place to aim for it. Let's have a look at the modules. Okay, modules, you can see the driver is sitting right up front, right in the center. We've got the gunner on the right hand side, the TC is on the left hand side of the tank, and there's the autoloader. The bustle is one big ammo rack, so if you can put a round into the bustle, you might get an explosion. The only other ammo rack that's available, which is the storage one, which is right in the bottom of the tank, and that's behind the driver. At the back, we've got the fuel tanks either side of the engine with the transmission right at the back of the vehicle. So if you want to get an ammo rack on this tank, you have to aim for that bustle. That's the ideal place, because that's where the autoloader mechanism actually is. Remember, it doesn't have a loader, this tank. It auto-loads. And either that, or you're not going to get the commander or the gunner by shooting through the front armor. You might be able to get around into these cupolas. Right on top, you can see that we've got the TC on one side, the gunner on the other. If you can put a round into that cupola, then good on you. But the chances of you doing it is very, very slim, because it's not a very, very big cupola. In fact, very, very small. And if this tank is hull down, then it actually means that he can raise his turret or raise his gun just slightly, and you can't see the cupolas at all. All you can see is turret. And so whilst he's reloading, any old Kranvagn driver, if he knows his stuff, will just lift his gun, and you're not getting through that armor at all. Unless you can shoot into his hull, you're gonna, well, every shot's gonna fail. So that's the module profile on the Kranvagn. So I hope you enjoyed that replay by Awppenheimer. It's a lesson in how good this tank actually is. Please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do remember that for the foreseeable future, we will be giving all the profits from this channel to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal to help the refugees. So we're not going to make any money off this channel at all. We're doing all the effort, all the work, all the videos are for to help the refugees. And remember, we're probably the only channel that you do stand a chance of seeing your replay on, because whilst the other guys are picky and choosy about which videos they put up, we try to put up at least 2 videos a day on this channel, and sometimes a lot more. Plus, of course, we've got a second channel where you can watch great replays with Pools medals, Racine Heroes medals, and all sorts of medals on a second channel called The General World of Tanks Replays. And please do give that channel a watch, because we've got over 1,000 videos on that one already, and it's growing. And there's over 7,700, I think it's close to 7,800 videos on this channel alone. So please do give it a look, because every time you watch a video, you're helping the refugees from Ukraine. Thanks for watching.